We all know at least 365 days in advance that Christmas is coming. But why is it every January we are in utter financial devastation? Today on the Wealth Nation podcast, I'm giving you 7 ways in which you can survive Christmas 2019.
Welcome to the Wealth Nation podcast, a podcast for every mother, daughter, grandmother, sister, and wife, and the men who are smart enough to tune in. The Wealth Nation podcast brings you all you need to know about investments, business, property investments, personal finance, and all-around financial wellness. Here is your host, Yolanda Rose.
Hey, this is Yolanda, and thank you for joining me today on the Wealth Nation podcast. Now, it's my goal to provide you with easy, actionable tips, content, and strategies that you can use to get your personal finance in order, to grow your business, and to encourage you in your business as well. The Wealth Nation podcast is sponsored by FreshBooks. FreshBooks is the all-in-one small business invoice and accounting solution. The all-new FreshBooks is accounting software that makes running your small business easy, fun, and secure. Spend less time on accounting and more time doing the work you love. For your 14-day free trial of FreshBooks, go to www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com/FreshBooks. Well, we are just about 4 months away from Christmas, and if you're anything like me, I like to plan ahead. I like to be prepared. I do not like to be left in utter devastation come January of any year. So I like to plan in advance, and this is the reason for talking about Christmas at this time of the year in bang smack middle of August. So I have to talk about how crazy the commercialization of Christmas and the whole holiday period has gotten, and big ticket items that people are supposed to be buying. It's completely out of control. Every single day we are blasted with marketing of some sort of what to buy at Christmas. Actually, many times we find ads on TV and traditional newspapers. By the end of October, those Christmas ads are out. It's Christmas lights, it's Santa Claus, Christmas carols, and they're trying to extend that commercialization period to get us to spend more money. What is even worse is that our kids are seeing these ads. So ensure that you are keeping in mind that most important part of the season is obviously the birth of Christ. It's the summer period. It's a time for downtime, time for family. It's not really about going broke and bankrupting yourself for the season. Kids are expecting insanely expensive gifts, and specifically gadgets around the season. And if you're just going to buy these items for the kids, they're always going to expect it from you. So if your kid wants an iPad or an Apple Watch, I would think that it's best if you can get them to pay for part of it. I mean, we're talking about Christmas now. Get them to start contributing if they want those high-ticket items. Get them to start contributing now. Let them do chores around the house so they actually realize what the value of money is, and get them to work for it. Constantly remind them about it. And you could fill in maybe 30-40%, but make them work for the majority of those high-ticket items. And with the whole situation in South Africa, I know jobs are scarce, retrenchments are happening left, right, and center. At times, you're not going to be able to afford for everything that they're asking you for. So you're going to have to sit down and have that talk where you say, you know what, we're budgeting this Christmas. Things are tight. We need to be prepared. We're going into the school season. We go Christmas, New Year, and straight into school afterwards. So you got to be prepared for each one of these events. And having that talk with your kids is going to help them understand money and understand the situation. And really, you're actually teaching your kids a very important money habit right there. Sitting and talking to them about the budget. I mean, you only have so much coming in. You cannot afford to overspend. So let's get cracking on how we can survive Christmas 2019. The first thing that you've got to do is you've got to plan your December budget. Plan when your kids go off from school. Do you need to be paying for extra daycare? Are your nieces and nephews coming over? Do you have out-of-town guests? Itemize everything that you're going to be spending or you can be expected to spend on during this holiday season and put it down into your December budget. The key is to take control of your money. I mean, you know that, okay, you have your salary coming in, maybe you have your 13th check. I am totally against spending your 13th check during the holiday period. Rather put it into your RA, or ideally just put it away, invest it. I don't think that you should be blowing your 13th check on Christmas, on just a few days when you've got the whole of January, the opening of the school month to go. So take control of your money. So budget for everything, for gifts, for your meals, for those brides, for those parties, those family get-togethers. Make multiple line items of everything that you could possibly spend on during this Christmas season. And now is the ideal time to do it. I mean, we're in the middle of August, and I'm going to tell you why there's going to be absolute value in you planning for Christmas right now and doing your Christmas budget at this time. It also allows you to start shopping for those gifts now. I mean, you know you're going to buy your kids gifts. Maybe your parents or brother or sister. I mean, prioritize who you're going to buy for. You can't buy for everybody. I mean, it's just not possible. So when you do come to that short list of who you're buying gifts for, you can start early, whether you're buying gift vouchers or toys, because you know during the Christmas season, they call it a sale, a Christmas sale, but come October, November, they hiking those prices up 30-40%, and then giving you a 20% discount in December. It just doesn't work. So start shopping for those gifts early. I like shopping on overseas websites. I actually find that they provide better value in terms of the exchange rate. And even with the shipping and the import taxes, most of the times, especially with my electronic gadgets, I can get them far cheaper on a site like Amazon or eBay than I can in South Africa shopping online. So however you plan to budget for Christmas, don't go overboard. Remember that school starts in January and you need to be surviving January as well. So if you have no idea how to start budgeting, go and listen to my podcast, Budgeting 101. It gives you some guidelines, but I specifically created a Christmas budget planner for you. So go to the show notes. There is a download link there, and it will take you to my Christmas budget planner. You can download it, print it, or if you're happy to work electronically, you can do so as well. But that will give you a basic idea. It has various line items, even things that you haven't thought about spending. Everything is there, so it's easy to use. Just drop your list down there and have everything done for you in the budget planner.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Tuned In. Now back to the show.
The second thing I like to do to prepare for Christmas early is to buy grocery coupons in advance. I do that because I want to absorb maybe 10 to 15% of a grocery voucher into my current month's spending. So if I spend 1,000 Rand on groceries for the month, I would buy 100 Rand voucher, 150 Rand voucher to keep it on that 10 to 15% rate. So if I start doing that from June, July, all the way down to December, I got 6 voucher cards to the value of over 1,000 Rand that I can use to supplement my Christmas spending, because family is coming over. You're overspending, you're over drinking, you're overeating, and those vouchers provide a nice buffer in the grocery department. And all of the major grocers have the voucher system, from Woolworths, Pick and Pay, Checkers. At the till, you just ask them for a voucher and keep it away. Don't spend it in the same month or earlier than you're supposed to. Keep those vouchers away, especially saved just for Christmas. So the third thing that you could do, or the third thing you could not do, is never set foot in a mall in December. I hate doing it. If I have to do it, it's late in the evenings where we're doing the whole entertainment thing and the games or the movies or something like that. But it's not to stand in a queue and shop. I hate doing it during December when all those GP plates are down in Durban. I hate going to the mall during Christmas. So it's the holiday season. The retailers have the highest traffic and sales during this time of year. I mean, you could spend 2 minutes shopping for an item and then spend another 2 hours in the queue just trying to pay for it. That's a waste of time. And for me, time is more valuable than money. And you know that the retailers are going all out. Everything's looking pristine. The Christmas decorations are out. The Christmas carols are playing, trying to keep you in the good mood to spend that money, but don't fall for it. Stay out of the mall during Christmas. So I want to talk to you about a concept called the anchoring effect. And now, a website called behavioraleconomics.com explains that anchoring is a particular form of priming effect, whereby initial exposure to a number serves as a reference point and influences subsequent judgments about value. So the process usually occurs without our awareness. For example, let's say the original price of an item is marked up by 300 rands and then crossed out to be on sale for 190 rands. Our mind is using the 300 rand as the anchor price. In this case, 190 rand might have been the retailer's true value or true original price, but because they want you to think you scored a good deal, they mark it up to 300 rand. So every time you buy an item on sale, you experience anchoring. The original price influences your expectation, so the percentage discount feels like you're getting a real bargain, but in fact you're not. You've already fell for anchoring at this point. So that's basically how sales work, not just during Christmas, but throughout the year. So next time you're shopping and you get these red hanger sales and these red dot sales, when you see that red tag there and you see those prices marked down, remember what I said about anchoring. Okay, don't fall for those sales tactics. What I like to do is buy my gifts in November. And the best time I like to go shopping is on a Monday morning. And I'm an entrepreneur, so my Monday mornings are free. Or my time is my own, so I can go to the mall on a Monday. So I usually buy my gifts in November, Monday mornings. There are no queues. I can get the closest parking to the mall door. It's the most peaceful thing. That's the best time I like to go shopping. So I usually do it in November and get all my gift shopping done by that time. But this year I'm doing a different approach, especially with my kids. My kids are in that craft stage. So this year we are planning to do handmade gifts. And we're looking at sort of designer chocolate, high-end handmade biscuit barrels, and even bath bombs. My 8-year-old is into bath bombs, so that's what we're making this year to give away for Christmas gifts. It's going to save us tons of money because we're going to be buying those items in bulk. It's great bonding time for me and the kids, so that's a bonus altogether, and it's going to save me a lot of money, like I said. And also, when I'm shopping in November, I like to get paid for when I shop. So if you haven't already read my blog on how you can shop once and get paid 4 times, go to our website. It's www.financiallyfabulousfemales and search for that blog. I'm going to show you how you can just pay the bill once and get cash back from various retailers across the country on just one purchase. Okay, so that helps me a lot because all those cash backs accumulated, I spend it during Christmas, so it doesn't hit me as hard. Another thing that I found very successful, so this is point number 4, is I try to save every month. I mean, an extra 1,000 rand a month goes into a 32-day notice account, and I try and do this throughout the year, specifically as a buffer for school for my kids. So I put all of this money, however much I can afford throughout the year, into this 32-day account, and I only give notice on the account around the 7th or 8th of December. So I'm not going to be spending these savings during Christmas or New Year. This money is specifically to carry my back to school budget. So I'm saving throughout the year on my back to school budget. And obviously, as we get to November, I'm not putting that much away. But I've worked really hard during the beginning of the year to actually stash that money away, get some interest in there. Although it's not a lot, but hey, I'm not going to say no to free money. So the 32-day account is really nice because you're really blocked from touching it. I mean, if you want to spend it, you got to wait 32 days to spend it. And by the time those 32 days comes, you even forgot what you want to spend it on. So I like the 32-day accounts. It keeps me disciplined, especially during the Christmas season, because you're happy and you're jovial and you just want to spend. And that's when the 45th of January comes about. The fifth thing that I want you to note is that during the holidays, the price of everything goes up, including meat. So when it comes to your groceries, I tend only to buy fresh fruit and veg during the December period because the months leading up to Christmas, I buy my roast because, like I said, I like to prepare early. So I know my Christmas menu already. I know which days I'm having a braai, which days the family's coming over, and I know how to prepare for it. So you know your menu early. You know what items you need early. Things like jelly, boxed custard, all of your packaged goods. You can and your canned goods. You can buy them in advance and keep them away specifically for Christmas, especially your roasts, your meats. Prices are really high during the Christmas season, and usually by November, my roast is in my freezer ready for Christmas. So the sixth thing that you can do to survive Christmas 2019 is to crowdfund your gifts for your kids. Now, what do I mean by crowdfunding? Now you have a range of family and friends that shower your kids with gifts, which is always nice because there's nothing nicer than watching your kids rip up those Christmas wrappers on Christmas morning when they're opening up their presents, and they're really delighted to with what you've gotten them. But come the next day, I mean that toy is lying at the side. I mean, they're not really paying attention, and a lot of the times the kids outgrow the items that we buy them within a month of Christmas, and we spent a small fortune on those items. So by crowdfunding, you could ask your family members to, instead of buying those expensive gifts, rather put it into your kid's account. By now, you should have an account for your kid if you're really into finance, right? So if you get five of your family members giving you $500, each of them give you $100, for example, and I know people are spending a lot more on $100 on one child. But if you ask those people, you know what, whatever it is that you're spending, whether it's 50 Rand or 1,000 Rand, take that same money and put it into my child's account. And when you get that lump sum, take that money and put it into a tax-free investment for your child. I know maybe he's not going to see it now. Get him something, at least one or two things. He should be happy, but take the rest and invest it for your child. He's not going to see the value now. Maybe he'll get a little bit upset and be a little bit down. But when your child turns 18, and when he has a lump sum in his account that he could use to finance his education or buy his first car, and that's when that appreciation is going to come. And that glee and that delight when your child is 18, when he sees that amount of money, that will put him ahead of the curve with his friends to get that first car or go on that break between university. That's when he's going to appreciate it and thank you. So try the crowdfunding idea, but be disciplined with it. Speak to your financial advisor and put it to something. I recommend putting it offshore, but speak to a financial advisor. He will help you assess your risk appetite and give you recommendations based on that. And the seventh thing that you could do is plan ahead for Christmas and not just start in August, but start immediately after. Because once Christmas is done and dusted, there are simple steps to start saving almost immediately. So open up that 32-day account in January and contribute a small amount to it every week or every second week at least. Saving 200 Rand per week will add up to over 10,000 Rand in a year's time. Imagine, imagine just 200 Rand a week and Christmas 2020, you've got 10 grand sitting in your account. You don't have to stress, you don't have to worry, you don't have to dread the 45th of January because you have smooth sailing with your budget because you've planned adequately. And also, come to think of it, on the 26th of January, Christmas decorations are really cheap. Okay? So you can spend your money on that and plan ahead because Christmas will come in 2020 and you'll be ready for it. All right, so those are the 7 things that you can do to survive Christmas 2019. And the key is to plan and take control of your money. So don't forget to head over to our website. It's www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com and check out the resources that we've set up. We have a lot of guest blogs, a lot of guests on our podcast giving some really great advice. So go check it out. Hopefully it'll be your number one resource for all things personal finance and entrepreneurship in South Africa. So, depending on the time that you're listening to this podcast, it's quite the rage that our new reigning Miss South Africa has really embraced her African heritage and went all natural at the event. And we're going to be speaking to a Gauteng based entrepreneur who specializes in ethnic hair products. So, stay tuned for that episode coming up soon.